Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector, and we'll get started on our next multiplayer matchup. We're going to be playing the Imperial Ruins, Strategic Command Point, 2,000 point armies with an 80 point target, 8 turn limit. I'm going to be playing as the Tau, and we're going to be going against the Adepta Sororitas here. I went with an all crisis suit, battle suit army here just to have a different force selection here. It may or may not work out. As you'll notice, the first turn or two of this match is kind of laggy because this was during the whole driver fiasco that I had. So let's make this a public service announcement that your drivers are not always going to be automatically updated, telling you that. I'm sure all of you know that, but I was thinking because I was occasionally getting little notes from my computer saying, hey, there's a new driver, that I thought it was just going to do that for all my drivers, and that was not the case. So what happened is, originally when I was starting these matches out, because I'll have several matches going at one time, because I never know when other players will be completing their turns, my first turn for a lot of these matchups, I didn't realize that my recording was not working because I didn't make really any changes, and the computer seemed to be working okay. I just seemed like it was kind of lagging a little bit on certain games, which I couldn't understand why, because I had never had that issue before. And then when I went back and looked at the recordings, I realized that the recordings weren't readable. It was like it wasn't recording things appropriately. So then I reinstalled the driver, and then I started to look into my other drivers, because after I updated the graphics driver, which was way out of date, it started actually making the computer work even worse. And I think what was happening is it was causing a compatibility issue with my other drivers, because I then found out that some of them were several years old. So then I had to go and update all the drivers in the computer, and then the computer was back to how it was acting before, where everything was not having any issues. So I apologize for a little bit of that staggering lagginess here. You shouldn't see it on the rest of the turns here, but it was just kind of a weird process here. So again, this is like a public service announcement to update your drivers, so you don't have to go through all this bullshit. So I'm just trying to move these guys up here. Now, as you're probably aware, the stealthing mechanic now takes an action point, whereas before it would not. And then the big thing is you want to make sure you're not stealthed before you capture a strategic command point, because that counts as an unstealthing action. But if you have 4 movement and you capture the point and then you stealth afterwards, that's not an issue. And then they are forced to move onto your square or to attack you with some sort of AoE attack, and if you take damage, that will unstealth you there, so it'll force them to perhaps have to move into a less opportune attack area here. And now I'm just trying to decide, do I waste two missile strikes or not to kill the arcoflagellants here. We know he's got 2 retributors with the heavy bolter, because they just attacked us from Overwatch. And that's one thing actually the retributors are really good at, is killing crisis suits and stealth suits. So it's like I want to make sure I kind of have these guys into cover, so either he has to overexpand and then we can kill him with our flamers, or we can get him into a vulnerable position where hopefully we can get him to just overextend and group his guys together. Now, maybe in retrospect, taking out those arcoflagellants would have been more prudent, because I would have forced him to move into that point with a rhino or different melee unit to try to overextend there. That probably would have been a more effective thing to do. But ultimately, as you can see, I decided not to do that. I think if I did this again, I would certainly do that. And then I would use these fire warriors to finish them off by using the trap is set. Marker light and then their little rifles here. But I wasn't sure what he had for force at this time.
Targets outside the visual range.
So we can see him moving in the center. So again, because the Adepta Sororitas tend to have a little more mobility than most Tau armies do at the start. Now, less so when you're doing a full crisis suit build. But I just didn't know what I was going to be fighting at, because that'll dramatically change what strategy you use here. So we can see his Rhino is popping smoke.
Scanner picking up movement.
He's got more Arcoflagellants over here. He's got some Celestians, but they just have the Bolter there. And then he's got his Retributors moving up.
Targets outside the visual range.
And then the other thing that could be nice with the stealth suit,
the enemy approaches,
is if you kept him stealth, you could potentially backcap his points without him knowing. Now, that's one of the things I don't always like about this Auspex system, is it'll give you an idea of where the stealth units are occasionally, even when they're not in vision. So that can be pretty annoying when that happens. But he's going with a pretty aggressive bolter build, which I generally would not recommend against the Tau. I think he was thinking I was going to go more light tier infantry, in which case it may be more effective. But now, with all the buffs that the Adepta Sororitas get, I think the Flamer from the Ghost Keel here is just not effective, because all I'm doing is give him a ton of momentum and not killing him. Whereas if I attack with my crisis suits, like up to here, it should be able to get the full kill. So I think it probably would have made more sense for me to just do this instead of building him up with that momentum here. I guess not. So they still would have had to attack because of all the buffs that he's gotten here. So I'll pull you back, and then if I move you up, you should be able to finish off the Celestian here. Perfect. Alright, so we've got some Arcoflagellants up here and an Infernal Pistol. We've got quite a few guys over here. He's got people on Overwatch. So how do I want to do this? If I bring you over to here, you can flame those guys down and still take cover. Alright, good. You took care of that Overwatch. Alright, so he's got more Seraphim. This is not looking good, because those Seraphim with their Infernal Pistols are going to be able to do a lot of damage to my Crisis Suits here. If I just pull you back to here, that would be an option, but then you're going to be left in the open against these guys. If I bring you over to here... Yeah, see, he went with a full bolter build with Celestians. That's weird. Okay. Well, I guess let's just flame those guys down. So what the hell does he have in the Rhino? That's always the question.
Moving.
Alright, we'll move you to here. Let's move you up to here. We'll take this. We'll stealth you. Make him come to us. Alright, well, let's pull you back.
Understood. Yes.
Alright, he must have another Hospitaller up there, because he's got the Hospitaller buff over there.
Moving to position.
I guess let's just shoot into the Celestians here.
They deny the way of the Tau family. Kill them all.
Okay, he took out 2 of them. I guess the question is, I could use a marker light, but that just seems like... Oh, I was actually expecting you were going to do more damage than that.
Awaiting assignment.
What I probably should have done is try to shoot with Ghost Keel first to kill a model before they had all that evasion, and then I could have attacked with the other guys, and then that would have probably helped me kill another model. And then if I would have attacked with these guys too, I probably would have squad wiped that, so that was probably the wrong order of operations here to attack those guys.
On your word.
And let's try to keep these guys back, I guess, to try to keep them protected from those frickin' retributors. But I think if he commits to killing me with those flamers, especially if he get, or not flamers, the infernal pistols, especially if he gives them double attacks, that's gonna be a bad time for me. So things are definitely in his favor.
Serve the greater good.
Nah, you missed. Yeah, because I gotta pull him back all the way here, so those retributors don't end up focus firing him down.
Yes.
Alright, so he's got this kind of exploratory force down here.
Thrusters engaged.
Honestly, if I come down here and flame these guys, I should be able to get the kill of the Seraphim, and then the Arcoflagellants won't have enough armor piercing damage to kill me, and I can just keep flaming them. Shit. Alright, shit. That's bad. So, I think I definitely just killed myself. I did not see those Sister Repentia there. So, had I known those Sister Repentia were there, I would have just jumped up to here and I could have flamed over and killed those those Seraphim from the safety of that, so he couldn't melee me. Yeah, see, here comes the Arcos. And I guess the only good thing is it looks like he didn't use their ability to increase the armor piercing. So that may be my saving grace, but usually these sisters here can do shit tons of damage. Alright, he is still alive. That surprises me. I really thought he was going to be dead. It's still going to be hard for me to kill all the guys, though, over here. Oh, man. I can't believe I overextended like that. I just didn't see him behind the wall. Alright, so what's he got in the Rhino over here? Repentia. More Repentia. Alright, well, that's unfortunate. Oh. Oh, and a Sister Superior. Okay. Definitely not looking good for us. Okay. I have to assume they attacked. I'm not sure what exactly happened there, that they took 5 damage. Because usually what happens is when you have to unstealth them, you have to move onto the square, and then when you move onto the square, that'll trigger an automatic reaction fire. So I guess if it was a grazing hit or something, then it could have done 5 damage, but that seems particularly low. Alright, I was gonna say I would be shocked if he doesn't take the spot from me. Nice. Very lucky that he didn't get the kill there.
We're under fire.
Alright, they're shooting into our guys here.
Tracking potential targets.
More Celestians are coming this way.
Nothing shall stand against us.
Confirmed.
I could jump over. I don't know if that's really going to do anything for me, though.
On our way.
So maybe we just move you. If I bring you to here, you should be able to flame those Repentia. And then you can just start...
I serve the greater good.
Move in here. Oh, I thought you were going to get the
On your
kill.
word.
Alright, well they did, so that works. We can do Crisis Suit here. That dropped him down to 3. And then we'll flame these guys, because I think his flamer is good enough to get the kill, right? Yeah. Alright, so that drops you down to 50 health. If I try to escape, I think you're definitely dead. But I think there's a really good chance you're gonna die. Well, we can flame here. Okay, they're down. Let's move you back. If I move the commander up here... 72. I should have used the marker lights instead. I just
Moving to position.
was thinking that they were definitely going to get the kill there, but at least this should allow me to drop these retributors down here. Perhaps I should have gone for the Sister Repentia,
Armored support ready.
but I think no matter what, they're
Nothing
probably
shall
going to
stand
die. Or the commander would die, whether they get attacked by the Repentia or the Seraphim, just because there's so many of them there. Yeah, I don't want to leave the Sister Superior there, because she's probably got quite a bit of... Yeah, see, I could have done the marker light. I think that would have made a big difference.
Awaiting assignment. Armored support ready.
Well, how about we just do Missile Strike?
Yes.
I could bring you up and capture. Actually, let's just bring it up with you, maybe. Get you there. You can take this. That'll force them to waste some attacks on you.
Strike team, ready.
Moving.
Oh. Okay. Well, we got Arcoflagellants coming from this direction. I wasn't really thinking about that.
Firing.
So let's flame here. And then we could shoot into the Arcoflagellants.
Moving out. Priority target marked.
Maybe we do that to try to get some kills. I don't think you're going to be able to do enough, though. Yeah, not quite.
For the greater good.
Alright, and this will kind of give them a zone of control to try to lock that down to stop the Arcos from coming over.
Take to the sky.
And I think we just need to try to run away with these crisis suits now. And abandon our push on the right side. If he decides to just run these guys down, you'll still be able to kill them with those retributors.
Standing by.
If I bring you there, well, no, because once he gets the kill, the Celestians will just be able to run over. So let's just use your rocket jump, try to use you to body block and protect those other models here.
They will never see it coming.
Alright, let's see what happens here. Alright, Commander, you gonna survive? 12. Bolt, blessed ammo. Block, block, block. Keep blocking, man. Block, block, block.
I will not break.
Nice. Can't believe that actually worked. Alright, so he killed those guys. Yeah, so bringing the Rhino over, because there's no way I'm going to be able to kill that Rhino. Perfect. That's exactly what you should do. He used his other smoke. I don't know if that was really necessary, though. Because smoke will do nothing against flamers, and then you have other guys that are over here that are going to be more important for me to kill. I guess he's going to try to keep the other retributors in the smoke, so maybe that'll be more effective. Yes, he's trying to move. Ah, that's right, because they have 5 movement. I was trying to think, oh, maybe I can get them so they'll not be able to get through my zone of control.
We're under fire.
Scanner picking up movement. I know where you are.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he's being so non-committal with his Seraphim here. Alright, well, you're here. So I think we just do the flame to guarantee the kill.
Armored support, ready.
Stealth team, reporting in.
Alright, let's move you up.
Ready.
Let's move you up. You can flame here.
Firing.
Good. And then you... I think I done goofed that up.
Confirmed.
Well, let's just jump you over to here then and take this point. We'll try to make up for our stupidity.
Open fire.
Flame here. Okay, good.
On your word.
Now, can you shoot and get this kill? 55% chance to hit. Oh my god, you missed all of them!
Yes.
I serve the greater good.
Alright, well, let's just do dual rocket launcher missile pods here, because that should be enough to kill the retributors. Okay, good. Let's see, 0% chance to hit, so those dang arcoflagellants are really locking you down pretty effectively.
Firing.
So let's just flame them down.
Moving out.
We've got a 39% chance to hit here, 54% chance to hit there. Yeah, even worse now. Alright, shoot here, I guess.
Moving out.
Move you back to here.
Awaiting a segment.
Let's just keep you here to get a zone of control there.
Moving.
And then let's just run away with these guys to hopefully keep missile striking. He may use the Celestians to try to come over and kill 2 of those crisis suits, which will drop the damage of my missile attacks pretty dramatically. Alright, we got that point. Now, actually, this has been going surprisingly well for me, despite how it really should be. I think I need to just pull you back, because I just don't know if he has another Seraphim squad or a Retributor around, because any of those guys, or even a Celestian, would be able to kill him with how injured he is.
We're under fire.
I know where you are.
Oh, I guess he's like, enough of this shit. Alright, so he took back that location.
Tracking potential targets.
Alright, so that's going to make it a 2-3. Is he going to send the other Seraphim squad to attack my stealth suits, maybe?
Scanner picking up movement. Enough of this.
We've been spotted.
Nothing shall stand against us.
Alright, well,
Yes.
let's see. It says it's full cover, and then the missiles do have a chance of hitting obstacles that are terrain here. So that makes me a little worried. So maybe what I can do is move you up to here and shoot here, because that should avoid the obstacles. Yes, good.
Yes.
And then I can jump them up to here to take this spot. And I'll take you up to here. And you can missile launcher here. Okay, good. Those Seraphim are down. Now I could come up here and attack the Seraphim, or the Celestians. But honestly, I think I might want to just keep working on these Arcoflagellants.
Moving. Firing. Open fire.
Kind of hate to waste a missile strike here, but it'll also allow you to move a little bit. Yeah, see, he's buffing these guys still, but he's just not committing to fight. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Makes me think I'm missing something.
On your word.
Let's see, if I bring you over to here, then you can shoot into the hospital.
Thin them out.
Emperor,
Okay,
protect your
good.
humble
I
servant.
was really hoping you were going to be able to land the third attack there. The other one's actually his...
I serve the greater good.
HQ commander. Ideally, I'd like to have 2 command points to call in a crisis suit, but I think doing this and sniping the hospital is probably going to be a better option, so he's not using double attacks on me.
Awaiting assignment. Moving.
Orders
Alright,
received.
and then you should be available to jump over and capture that point there if he doesn't have somebody over there to body block it.
Yes.
Let's see. I just don't know where he's going to go. We'll keep you
Nothing
there.
shall stand against us.
So if he brings those Seraphim down to try to kill my
Position.
Ghost Keel, then I can counter flame.
Consider
I'll
it
keep
done.
you over here so you can then jump around. It's now up to 75. Alright, so what's he doing here?
Taking hits. Armor holding.
Yeah, see, this is why I'm not a huge fan of the Retributors. It just seems like they have such variable damage output. It's like, if they crit, they're amazing, but if they don't crit, they're just very underwhelming. Oh, I forgot about the Repentia that he had there.
I serve the greater good.
Alright, well, if that's the case here,
Awaiting assignment. Yes.
let's
Moving.
bring you over to here. I can
Firing on target.
missile strike those guys. I think what I should have done, since he's so close to surging, is probably use the Ghost Keel to flame first. But then I guess that would also lower their accuracy of the missiles. Ah, there's one left. Bummer. Let's see. If you land all your attacks, you can potentially kill them. But you did not.
Moving.
So I guess that means you're coming over here.
On your word.
Alright, how do I want to do this now? I could do another missile strike. Oh, you're just short.
Thrusters
Alright,
engaged.
well, let's run you over to here. Let's drop the hospitaler.
Deny the way of the Tauva. Kill them all.
You're here. I can jump you over to here and capture this point there. And I'll bring it back to 3 to 2. Now, I guess since you still have an action point left, I should have attacked the Rhino had I been thinking.
Confirmed.
Alright, here's what we're going to do.
Moving.
I'll run the
Affirmative.
Ghost Kill here, so now he's locked down in melee.
Moving to position. This will bring us closer to victory.
Alright, and we'll keep
On
your
support. Ready.
momentum up. And I think with the points from this turn, that should be enough to...
Moving.
should be
Understood.
enough to get the win. And then if you come over here and you're playing like this, you can hug that wall and that'll count as full cover and stop you from getting attacked unless he runs down with some Seraphim and shoots you. Yeah, see, now we just won. Nice. Alright, so close match here. Closer than I thought it was going to be. I actually thought he was going to win it, to be honest. So we took out 2 Seraphim, 6 Arcoflagellants. Yeah, see, it's doing the counts wrong, because we for sure killed 2 Hospitators, 2 Celestians, 3 Repentia, Sister Superior, and 2 Retributors. Our commander has excellent accuracy. The stealth battlesuits are a little disappointing, but they're also shooting after moving. The Ghost Kills should always have good accuracy with their range, assuming you're using the Flamer. And then, you know, the thing that's nice about the Ghost Kill is if you had vehicles, then I would have been able to use that cannon against guys. Crisis suits with the Flamers are going to have 100% accuracy. The stealth suits, pretty abysmal showing in the 40s and 50s for their accuracy, but it could have been higher if I was using more marker lights. Again, the commander's going to do well because of his Flamer attacks. And then the Fire Warriors actually had surprisingly high hit chances, around 87%. It certainly didn't feel like they were in the 87%. And then the other stealth suits were pretty low as well. So definitely could have benefited from the buff of some cadres, but I just wanted to do a little bit of a different build just to play around with it. Worked out okay. Our opponent had a little bit of trouble committing to the battles. I think if he had just pushed in real aggressively with his Seraphim and those Infernal Pistols, he could have totally collapsed my whole right side and forced me to engage him more. And then had he used the Arcoflagellant's ability to increase our armor piercing, he would have killed my commander on the left side as well, and that actually probably would have allowed him to get the win, because he would have been able to push through to capture my points on the right side. I would have collapsed on the center and then back capped a point from him, but I think it would have been enough to put things in his favor, because I wouldn't have enough damage potential then to get the kills. The big thing is with the Hospitators, you know, he did a really good job using the Medicus Ministorum ability to give him damage reduction and bonus health to make it harder for me to kill, especially with my Flamer attacks. The basic Flamer of the Ghost Kill is really not great at killing the Sisters, but the Crisis Suit Flamer, because you have 3 different Flamer attacks, definitely is much more effective. And the Commander's pretty decent as well, but as you can see, assuming he gets at least 1 grazed hit, then he won't be able to get full squad wipes. Now, the way to counter that is if you have a cadre with you and you use his ability to give everybody additional shots, that also includes the Flamers, and that will allow you to dramatically increase the damage to your regular Flamers to allow you to do squad wipes, and that can be really nice against the Adepta Sororitas, especially if you're giving them plus the 100% chance to hit to help you snipe down enemy leaders or hospitators or canonesses with your stealth suits, because that's really one of the things that they're quite exceptional with. Now, I was expecting them to bring more vehicles, to be honest, and that's why I had so many stealth suits with the fusions. Since the Crisis suits all had the Flamers, I was expecting that to be my anti-infantry and then the stealth suits to fight off the vehicles. But as you can see, the Sister Repentia are really good at killing the stealth suits. The retributors are definitely a coin flip, again, because you could see how variable their damage was. Sometimes they would almost kill several models, other times they barely do any damage. So for that reason, I don't like to have the backbone of my force have such be so RNG dependent. But for him, I think it would have been better to just have different forces. But I really think the main thing that held him back was just the non-committal situation with the Seraphim with the Infernal pistols. Because really, if he would have just closed the distance onto my stealth suits, he should have been killing 1 or 2 stealth suits every attack. And if he had been getting double attacks with the Seraphim, that would have been enough to pretty much squad wipe one of those crisis suits. Now again, he did focus down my commanders, which is absolutely the right thing to do because he'll have double flame attacks, so you'll definitely want to do that. And then using the Rhino to body block points to stop me from backcapping. For some reason, he elected to move those Celestians off of the point, so then it allowed me to just go in there and jump and capture back that point again on my turn. So that was kind of weird that he decided to pull those guys off of the point. I'm not quite sure what the thought process was there, because it would have forced me to either not capture the point the following turn or to waste a round of attacks on the Celestians, and that would have been a bad choice because I wanted to kill the Seraphim for sure because that gave him the most mobility and highest damage potential to my units. So again, I think going with a Canonist would have been amazing for him. He could have either taken away my action points or just used that Blessed Blade to cut down my units. And then obviously the Sister Superior with her Blessed Blade Power Sword does really good damage against crisis suits and the commander as well. So yes, he ended up buffing his units to give them plus 15% damage, but I'm pretty sure 2 Sister Repentia attacking a stealth suit would have been enough to get the kill. And then you could have had your Sister Superior get 2 rounds of attacks with the Blessed Blade, which should do anywhere from, assuming you get the hit, somewhere between 140 and sometimes even 200 plus damage if she crits. So I think that would have been a much more effective way of doing it. Plus remember, if you have her not in the vehicle, you can also use her other buffs to help your other units. Like not only does that buff work on increasing your melee damage by 15%, but it also increases your bolter damage by 1. So that's effectively a 20% damage increase to your retributors. So that would have been a much more cost-effective way of doing it. And you could have given them bonus health and bonus momentum to again increase your crit chances further, which is what you really need to get the most bang for your buck with the retributors. So I know you wanted to keep that Sister Superior in the vehicle to help you close the distance and start attacking, but overall it just nullified your damage output, because really with my build you just need to go in there and do the most damage possible to kill me, and if you turn it into a battle of attrition with my missile pods, I will end up winning that, because really this is a match that the opponent should have really kicked my teeth in, because he had an excellent build to be able to counter me. It was just he had a little trouble with his force selection, or target selection I should say, because really it was just some poor movements on his part with attacking that caused me to win this, because like I said, this really should have been his match to win with our forces selected here, especially with me overextending that commander early on the left side. It's just unfortunate that he just couldn't quite get enough damage there to allow me to survive and then be able to use the missile strikes and other abilities on him here. So I hope that helps in your future matches if you're playing the Adepta Sororitas again. And that would be my recommendations for you. And then for myself, I just got to stop overextending myself, and I should have been just focus firing guys down. So, I should have gone for the kill for the Arcoflagellants on that first engagement to stop them from coming over, and then forced them to either bring the other ones closer, and then I could have had my guys farther behind. And then the other thing I would mention is the Sister Repentia are a really good unit with the Adepta Sororitas, but the big thing is their ability has been reworked now, so you get increased damage per charge. And so you definitely want to be using them to charge into your opponent, so he'll frequently move in. So I'm not sure if he was hoping that if units survived, he would then the following turn use the charge attack, but I found him to be very reluctant to do that. And perhaps he's thinking that my flamers would get a reaction fire, but it's only the only flamer that gets reaction fire would be hand flamers or the aggressor's Flamestorm Gauntlet. So hopefully that provides some clarification there if that's perhaps what you're thinking about. So with that, I'm going to sign off for the day. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe. It encourages me to post more content for you. Have a great day.